Welcome back to the AB Scale Project. I'm Gregor. This is Alpha Bravo, and today we're going to look at the Mirage Beast Wars Grimlock 2-pack. This 2-pack was an exclusive between Hasbro Pulse and Amazon, and it comes with the Earth Mode Mirage and the Beast Wars Grimlock. First up, we're going to look at the Earth Mode Mirage, or the Kingdom Mirage. Over here we got the Siege, and we'll go ahead and move Alpha out of this way for a second. And we look between the two and we see that there has been a bunch of remolding going on here. The only things I found in common were the head, the crotch, and the feet. And the wheels. Otherwise, they're completely different. Well, not completely, but shared engineering. It's remolded. Yeah, it's there. The big elephant in the room between the two is that shoulder launcher. You can kind of see with the new one, it's mounted to the back of the shoulders. So to get him in the launch position, you kind of got to crank that shoulder forward to actually, hit anything. And plus it doesn't like to stay in. Whereas with the Siege, it's in a more natural position. Looking from the back, you can see that there is a lot. You can see a lot of the remold back there as well. Again, the crotch and the wheels is about the only thing that's really shared between the two. Maybe these upper arms. But other than that, it's almost total remold. All right, let's take a look at the vehicle mode. Looking at the vehicle modes, we see that the new Kingdom one has the open cockpit like your Indy Racer, where the Cybertron mode had the closed cockpit. Different on the spoiler. We'll line them up here. Get them back where you can see them. And you can see a lot of difference. Even the front fairing's different. Like I said, the wheels, about the only thing that you can tell. Wheels and the feet are about the only things, and these little linkages here. About the only thing you see. You can see how the chest folds up differently. How the new one, the chest folds underneath, where the old one, the chest is kind of hanging out the back there. Let me see, speaking of the back, there's where the back view looks like. There's a side view. Overall, I can see what they're going with. This is your typical, little racer, Earth mode racer, like a Monte Carlo racer. And you have the Cybertron mode, which is kind of a distorted Monte Carlo racer with the cockpit, the overly large spoiler, the almost useless spoiler because, there's no airflow there. But this one, you get a little bit of airflow there. But anyway, I think I was a little skeptical that they'd be able to make an Earth mode after they made this, the Cybertron mode, saying I thought the Cybertron mode was pretty much an Earth mode, but they did enough work for me to say that, yeah, this is a Cybertron mode, this is a Earth mode. All right, we'll be back with final thoughts. All right, as far as who will remain the king of the shelf, well, between the two, the new Kingdom, the overall torso and the general build, it looks a lot more G1, whereas the Siege looks like a buffer, better. I think it's better proportioned, but different. This was close to G1. Still a big hang up with me is that shoulder launcher. I just don't like it hanging out on the back of the shoulder like that. I like the position to where it looks like you could actually shoot it at somebody if you needed to and not have to distort your shoulder in an unnatural angle to be able to shoot. So between the two, I think I'll keep Siege. It still looks enough like G1 and looks stylized enough for IDW. I just like it better. I like the biggest, if they'd worked out the shoulder launcher better, it might be a different story. But for right now, that's the hill I'm dying on for that. So, our continued winner will be the Siege. On to the next one. Next up is the Beast Wars Grimlock. I was pretty surprised that they came out with this since he only really appeared in the comics. But he does look good. They got him a brand new head sculpt. You can see that's pretty nice. I mean, really good looking. I mean, and then everything else is recolored. I mean, we'll bring in the original mold, the Dinobot. And you can see that the head is the only thing they really remolded. I mean, everything else is the same. Look at the back here. Everything else is the same. So, all you got out of this was a new head. I mean, the new head looks good. I mean, don't get me wrong. But all you got out of it was a new head. As far as the original Beast Wars Grimlock, I know mine's a little sad. The dinosaur head's lost to antiquity and the hands are broken and GPS everywhere, but that's what I got left. You can see it's a lot better improvement. You could see this was smaller than a deluxe, and Grimlock needs to be bigger. I mean, let's face it. Especially since the Beast Wars Grimlock is supposed to be the G1 Grimlock, just with a new body. So he's got to be bigger than a deluxe. So let's go ahead and look at the Dino mode. Alright, here we have the Raptor Modes. Move off out of the way. And we see that they're, both in the shot there. They are pretty much the same. Same even down to the point where I can't get the thigh bits to tab in correctly or stay tabbed in. But they're pretty much identical. You go to the original. My sad original. I mean, but you can get the idea, whereas mostly a white palette. I like how they've mixed in more of the grays. He used to be almost, a leopard print, and now they've just got a few spots on the back there. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. Just a couple of spots on the back. It's kind of homage, but overall they tried to give him more of a more realistic coloring. If, a Arctic lizard was possible, being cold-blooded and hibernating in the cold and all. But anyway, does look good, but it is pretty much the same as Dinobot was. Overall, I like the new Beast Wars Grimlock. I mean, granted, I like the new Dinobot mold too, so this is just an extension of that. And since we really didn't have a Beast Wars Grimlock before, we just had a Grimlock because we were mostly focused on G1 and IDW here, but this guy is definitely the current definitive Beast Wars Grimlock. So, Beast Wars Grimlock is the new winner from Kingdom. And that's it for the day. Thanks for joining us today on the AB Scout Project. If there's a character you'd like to see, put your request in the comments below. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see y'all later.